Hi everyone, it is Cynthia the Intuitive Stitcher. Today is Sunday, actually May 31st, and I'm coming to you very late, but a lot had happened in May, and I'll get into that at the very end if you want to listen. Yeah, there was a lot going on with me and my daughter's dog and my daughter's car, so I'll get into that later. So anyway, this is Flosstube number 73, and like I said, it is May 31st. Tomorrow is June 1st, so I want to get right into all of this, what I've been working on. So the first piece I'm going to show you, it's actually a round robin that I have been included in 6 others, so there are 7 of us doing a round robin. And this is called Quaker Gardens. I was away all day, so I just got home. I put all these things together late last night. Quaker Gardens by Hello from Liz Matthews. This is the pattern. And that's it. So for the round robin, for my piece and for everyone else's, we're going to be doing this top line here, the alphabet, and I'm pretty sure this border here. And then in another month or 2, we're going to start the first motif, which is this one. So all in all, there are 7 of us. So what we do is, one motif is stitched, and when that's done, then the next month or 2 months later, I'm not sure how Chris is going to be in charge, then we'll pass our piece to the next person and stitch the next motif. So it just gets passed around till everyone does a motif. So I will keep everyone informed, and I will show you what I have done so far. I'm a little late to getting started, but let me show you what I have. Disregard the floss. Yeah, let me put this up here like this. So that's where I am so far. And I'm using 28 count, A Star is Born. It's Lugana, Grace Notes Fabrics, and I'm using DMC 792. So that's where I got so far. I started the alphabet because I want to get some of the alphabet done before I continue with that border. So yeah, A and B. Okay. The next piece that I'm working on, it is something new. And it is called Hello Summer, Plum Street Samplers. There it is. I want to do this for our 250th, and I'm going to take away Hello Summer, and I might put 250 for the 250th. I'm not sure yet, but I'll come up with something. And I can show you that piece. I have these magnet. They're like magnets. I don't know how else to explain it. Sorry, I'm over here with my things. It keeps hold of my needle, those magnets, and also my floss. So ignoring that, let's see if I can get you to ignore all of that. That's where I am. Starting at the left side of the fabric, and it's the flag. So they recommended Weeks Dye Works and Classic Color Works. I converted mine to all DMC, so I can show you that. And like I showed you, I'm right at the flag. I enjoy working on this. And for this one, I am using, let me look at my notes. I'm using 36 count Jobelin, Grace Notes Fabrics. It's called Silver Bells. Silver Bells. Very pretty. My next piece that I was working on, actually for Springo, which I did not complete, but that's fine. I did touch what I wanted to touch. This is Green Christmas. Imaginating. And I'm using 14 count white Aida, DMC 3818. Oh, where is it? I don't have it in. Where would I have put it? Maybe it's in the back of this little pile. But okay, so you can't see it. I don't know. It's empty. So maybe it's mixed in here in my WIPs. So we're going to go on to the next. And hopefully it's in here maybe at the end. Maybe I was really tired last night when I went through all this. I don't know. I know that I was really tired. I also touched Cats and Hearts September. That is this one by Kitty and Me Designs. Pamela Kellogg is the designer. So I did get to touch this, which is exactly what I wanted to do. Let me show you this one. You know what? I bet you that Green Christmas is probably going to be in one of these. I bet. So, let me show you what I've been doing with this. Here it is. I did change some colors. Let me come in because I worked on these down here. And I put a little bit of the green in, and I still have to do more of the green. So I worked in this area right here. It's pretty. Cats and Hearts September. 28 count even weave is what I'm doing. And they're called for DMC. I did change up some of the colors because the outline was in brown and I don't care for the color brown, so I made it purple. And I changed up a few other colors. Not drastic changes, but I think it looks pretty nice. So, there's that piece. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I should do a live because then you could ask me in the chat. So, yeah. I found Green Christmas. I found Green Christmas. So this is it. I want to put something up. My Winter Rose Manor is over there. And I wanted to show it to you because I did put, if you watched last time, the house has a back stitch on the one corner, which separates like the main house from maybe the side or the front view. And I did that. And I don't have it. And I'm afraid if I pause this, I won't be able to get back in. I can try it. I'll try it because I do want to show it to you before it goes to be framed. So this is Green Christmas. I want to put something behind it because I know, here we go. It's the one I'm going to show you now. I got pretty far. I did work on the bell at the bottom. I did work on this. And this is the whole thing. So I will show you the pattern again. I'll come in a little close. Very pretty. And for Green Christmas, I'm using 3818 DMC. So I want to get all of this finished. All the bells and the ribbons. And then I'll think about the other parts of it. So I'm not in a hurry. I do enjoy working on it when I get it out. I do enjoy it. I'm going to go there. Now, the next piece that I was working on is Black Vintage Sampler. I look down here because here are my notes. Alforest Embroidery 16 count white Aida is what I'm using. And I'm using DMC 3799. And this is the photo. Let me show you the piece. This is where I messed up. Because the piece is all the way back here. I know what happened. Some of my pieces were really wrinkled and I ironed them and then I put them in the wrong order, and like this one I had to iron. It was quite messy, and Green Christmas I ironed, so that's why they're out of order. So this is Black Vintage Sampler. Let me get rid of these papers. So here we go. I don't like that. You can see through there. There we go. That's the top part. That's the bottom part. So I started stitching over here, which is the house. This is what I've been working on. And I will show you that. Yes, right here I'm working that house. There we go. So yes, it's very pretty. I think it's very pretty. So I don't know how far down I will go. I'm not crazy about the boats and the submarine and all that, so I might stop right there. I do like the horse and buggy. I love the bicycle. So I might leave this part out. Because I'm not crazy about the fish, the mermaid, and all that. So we'll see when I get to that part. I'm sorry if I'm not looking right into the camera. I know that on my phone I have to look to the left in order to be looking straight ahead. So I hope that I'm doing that for you. Nora Corbett, and this is Gwen. So I did touch her a little bit. I did some stitching with her. I have her on a hoop. So this is Gwen. Let me move this up so you're not seeing the sun. There we go. That's the top. And here's the bottom. So I was working down here with different things. And then I got that done. Sorry about the loose threads. So that is Gwen. Very pretty. When I was with Chris, who did the Winter Rose Manor Sal and decided what we were going to work on next. When I was at her house stitching with her, she said to me, I really should touch my Heaven and Earth designs. And I said, yes, I should touch them. And she gave me a suggestion about and I also mentioned about how I could do this. And I think that she suggested 1 week, spend some time touching one Heaven and Earth. The next week, spend some time each day touching the next Heaven and Earth. And I'm actually considering doing that and I don't know if I would do a thread a day or if I would put in like an hour a day. And what I notice is when I put a project down, it's good for me to start my next thread so that when I pick up the project, the thread is ready to go. I don't have to, search for the color because that takes time. For me, it does anyway. Then I'm not searching for the color and what am I going to do next? I need to make that decision when I'm finished stitching what I've wanted to stitch. And like I said, start the next color so that I pick it up out of the bag, the project bag, and I can start right away. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Offhand, I think I have either 4 or 5 Heaven and Earths. Off the top of my head, I can't think. I'm thinking of them all, but I'm not separating them in my mind right now. So, but I think that is a good idea for me. That way I'm touching all of my Heaven and Earth designs. And I really should do the same thing with Nora, Corbett, and Mirabilia, because I do have a Mirabilia also. And I should spend some time, even if it's just once or twice a week on those two. So I'm really thinking about doing that. Anyway, for the Nora Corbett that I have, it's 14 count milk chocolate Ada, and I'm using the called for DMC. That's for this one. It's 14 count milk chocolate Ada. So, yeah. I'm going to wait to do her face because I've not done a Nora Corbett before with the face, and so I will really study the pattern and then continue with her face. So, and I think some floss tubers do have issues or problems with the face. They've mentioned that too. They do like maybe half stitches or so. I have to figure that out because I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. And then I worked on, I'm going to turn my page. I have a little book now because I did buy a bigger book, like an 8.5 by 11, but with my move, I don't know where it is. So I just got a little book out and I'm going to use it because I bought it some time ago. So I need to use it. The next piece is Music Speaks. This came from Denise. Denise has a fun floss tube called Black Ribbon Stitch Studio. And she's a sweetheart. I love watching her, and as well as others. Maybe next time I'll put a list together of who I watch. It's a long list, but I can do that in segments. So this is Stoney Creek Music Speaks, and this is the piece. I love it because I played the piano. I think I can still play the piano, but I haven't for a long time. I'm going to start coughing. I was outside just a little bit ago. There's a lot of pollen everywhere. Something just fell. So anyway, there's my start. So this is one strand, and then I'm so used to using 2 strands that when I went to the flowers, I started 2 strands, and I thought, Oh, well, I'm not changing it. I'm not taking it out. The flowers will look pretty using two strands. They'll stand out a bit so that you can see where I am. Now, I wanted to stitch, hold on, the letters. But I'm going to get metallic thread to stitch the letters, and I think I'm going to get a green color to match the green here. I did go to Michael's last week to look for green metallic, and I had my granddaughter with me because I took her to she applied for a job as a hostess at a restaurant. And we were there early, so I said, George, do you want to go in with me? I just need to pick up some floss. And she said yes. So I had her pick out other flosses for me while I looked for the green metallic. And Michael's didn't have, they only had one skein of a green metallic thread. Sorry. And I didn't like it at all. I still bought it, but I didn't like it. I still have to hold it up to the pattern to see if it will work. But, so that's what I'm going to do. I want to do the letter. I love doing lettering, so I want to do the lettering when I pick it up again. So I do like that. And for this piece, I'm using, let me see, 32 count Lugana Grace Notes fabrics. You can see a little bit of the modeling. It's very subtle. I wanted something subtle. And the owner of Grace Notes, she doesn't live far from me. I always ask her to pick something for the pattern that I have. I'm going to put this on pause and be right back. And I hope that I don't have to redo everything. If I do, you'll get this on June 1st. But you don't know that because you won't know it. I'll be right back. Let's see what happens. I think it worked. Okay, so, because the clock is going. So this is Winter Rose Manor by Brenda Gervais. Sorry about the lighting. And let me show you the house that I talked about. Ignore the little clips. So this is the whole thing. I'm going to come in closer so you can see the house. So right here is that, you can see the line going down. That's the back stitch. So that separates, kind of like, I guess it's the side of the house. It's very subtle. If you see any mistakes, let me know. So that's what I wanted to show you. Now I can take it to be framed. That's it. Okay, and that's it. So, thank you for watching. I want to thank my subscribers. I want to thank you for liking my videos and for commenting. I love reading your comments. If you have any questions, my email address will be in the description box, as well as everything that I showed you today. Yeah, if you have any questions, you can email me or put a comment. Next time I'll have a giveaway. I haven't had any in a while, and I didn't have time to grab one. So thank you for joining me, and to new people, welcome, and I hope that you like my channel and that you like what I did show you today. So now for what went on here. I'll start with my the dog first. The dog was limping one week, and then it got better. Hold on, I'm gonna pause. Okay, I'm back, and it's still running for me. I always review my recordings before I post them. So, the dog had been limping, and we thought maybe she jumped off of the chair and you know, her leg was bothering her. So when I went a week later, well, my daughter actually sent me a message saying that her name is Ganache, saying that Ganache was having a hard time walking. So I didn't know what was wrong, but she and my granddaughter, whichever granddaughter was home, had to help take the dog outside. And she was able to go to the bathroom, but she kept lifting like one leg and then the other, so she was hurting. So I went over that day, of course, and her joints were swollen and very warm to the touch. She was not lethargic, but she wagged her tail when she saw me, but she didn't get up off the chair. So that night, my daughter made a bed for her to lay on the floor so that she wouldn't have to, if she did have to get up, she wouldn't jump up and down. And then actually my daughter moved the bed to her bedroom and had the dog sleep with her. So then Friday night, this was Thursday, Friday night we took Ganache to emergency vet that was local. They got her in that night. We called Thursday. She called Thursday and got her in Friday night. So she has Lyme disease, and she had high fever. Her joints were on fire, the doctor said. So thankfully, a long story short, she has no kidney failure, no kidney damage, and we put her on an antibiotic. She did receive fluid there with pain reliever, and so we came home with 3 antibiotics and the inflammatory pills for pain. She's great now. It took her a few days. I mean, she was able to walk, but it took her a few days to really get, back, on track. And she's pretty much back to her normal self. She takes her pills. And so that was quite intense. That was an intense night because my daughter worked till 6. I went to the vet with my daughter and my youngest granddaughter. And then when we were done there, we were there for about 2.5 hours. And when we were finished there, we went to pick up my older granddaughter at work and then home. So it was long, and we're so thankful that she doesn't have any damage to any of her organs. So, and the vet had said to us to give her she said to my daughter to give both dogs the flea and tick treatment year round, no more stopping in November, because he said there's still ticks out in the wintertime, and the winters get mild and then cold and mild and cold. And he said if you live somewhere where there's, dried leaves, the dogs will smell in there to see if they smell something, and then the ticks live in there. So that's what she started to do now. And then the next day, they went to, if you're familiar with Hershey Park, my granddaughter, the youngest, had a soccer tournament at Hershey Park. So they went there. And then, of course, I, made sure the dogs were okay and stayed. And my older granddaughter was home. So we kind of, divvied up our schedule that I was there when she wasn't, and she was there when I wasn't at home. So they had another game that next day, Sunday. So they went out to Hershey again. She came home, and then they went out again. And it was raining and cold that day. So I gave my daughter a whole bunch of quarters because she said she was going to go to the laundromat in between games and dry the uniform. And then so that these uniforms weren't soaking wet and cold. Well, when they were at the laundromat out near Hershey, a girl was backing out of a parking space, or I don't know how it happened, but backed into my daughter's passenger side door while they were in it. So everyone's okay, but she has a rental right now. But my daughter came home, she said, I'm just so thankful. She said, I'm thankful that Ganache is getting, is going to get better, and it wasn't bad, and that the car can be repaired. And no one was hurt. So we're very thankful for that. That's their story. Me. Okay, if any of you are on cholesterol medicine, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. Well, I didn't read the side effects because I figure why? If something's different, I'll know it. Well, I had a whole lot of pain in my joints that always bother me, that I really had a hard time walking. I didn't realize it was the cholesterol medicine. And I didn't realize it until I had blood work done for my Medicare Advantage checkup at the doctor. Didn't realize it until I saw that my thyroid was off. And I thought, this is not right. My thyroid has been good now for, quite some time. So I looked at the side effects. And it can affect the thyroid. These cholesterol medicines can affect the thyroid and joints. So I called my cardiologist and I said, I can't take this pill. I cannot have my thyroid acting up. So she said, when I see my primary care doctor, which was in like 2 days, she said, discuss it with him and then, come up with a solution and, leave a note in the portal. So I stopped taking. I was taking one every other night instead of every night. It's a low dose, but I've been through thyroid issues when it's been stable for a long time and then when it's unstable, and it's not fun if you have thyroid problems. So long story short, my primary care doctor told me to cut the pill in half and just take half and see what happens. My cholesterol came down. It dropped half, which I thought was pretty much, considering I was only on the cholesterol medicine for 2 months. I thought, wow, that was quick. So that was my May. I did stitch and I did my normal routine, but I know what it's like when your thyroid is off, and I don't want to go through that again. My hair will fall out. It does fall out, and it's worse when my thyroid levels are not normal. So I think I'm on the mend. We'll see. I called my endocrinologist about my thyroid, and he lowered the dose because now I am back to Graves' disease, which I had when this all started, back in the late 90s. So I get blood work done in, I think, 4 weeks. To see if the thyroid levels have normalized. So, yeah, I was tired all the time. I was hurting all the time. And so now I'm better. And thank goodness. So when it rains, it pours. So that was my month of May. So, but we're all here. We're all, on the mend. And so that's why I haven't been. I wanted to come to you in the middle of May, and it just didn't happen. So I do apologize for that. But I was stitching, as you can see, to keep my mind busy. So, and doing all the other things that I do. So anyway, thanks if you did listen to that. I'm sorry I get long-winded. But thanks for listening if you did listen. And if you have any problems with cholesterol meds or thyroid meds, let me know. I mean, I used to be the thyroid expert when this all started back in the late 90s. And then when it's level, then you don't think about it much anymore until it goes, sideways. So, yeah, feel free to let me know if you have had, you can always email me if you have had issues with cholesterol and thyroid. So anyway, thanks for listening. And like I said, I apologize for being long-winded, but I did want to let you know why I was MIA for almost the whole month of May. And so I appreciate your watching. I appreciate your likes and your comments. And next time I come to you, I'm going to have some giveaways because I haven't done that in a long time. So happy stitching, everyone. Today is Sunday, so I hope that everyone will have a good week. And stay safe, stay healthy, and like I said, stitch, because that's what keeps my mind from wandering, and it's nice to just concentrate on a project. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.